Hello, my name is Lautaro Martinez, and this is my CCR for my Ace Media final project. I decided to go with the film opening over the magazine because honestly, I don't read a lot of magazines. I do love watching movies and TV shows, so I felt like it could relate to me more. Um, my first the first thing I did when receiving this project is I thought of what genre I wanted to go with. And I myself, I love crime movies, TV shows, whatever. I love it, and I also enjoy. I'm very entertained by action movies, so I decided to go with a crime drama, and that's basically what I went with. And the film starts off with the credit scene, which the credit scene is basically my main character, Ray, which you'll be introduced to in a second. He's typing the credits onto a computer, and I filmed this by stacking two books together, and I put my camera on top, and I put a stapler, so the camera would fall over. I put the stapler behind it, and so it also stabilized this, because I couldn't, I tried, but I couldn't acquire a tripod, so I just had to come up with something on the spot. Well, basically, this is what happened, and I think the shot is actually really good. It focuses strictly on the credits, and that's its purpose. So yeah, it's a credit scene like this, and then you're introduced to the characters and myself, the director, and the movie title, which we'll talk in a sec. The movie title is, you'll see now, The Case. I went with this because I thought it was very relatable to the film opening and on what I plan on the rest of the movie being. It's basically, the case is Ray and Scarlett, my two characters, are investigating a murder scene, a murder case, right? And throughout this process, when the lab reports come back from the DNA samples and fingerprints that were at the scene, they are informed that the fingerprints found on the murder scene, at the murder scene, and on the murder weapon and whatnot, are actually Ray's parents. Now, Ray's parents have been dead for the past 15 years, and he explains that. So basically, the movie is them trying to find Ray's parents, or trying to explain why Ray's parents' fingerprints are all over the murder scene. So here, the case, and there's credits, and we transfer over, and if we pause it right here, it's it kind of stops the film a little for a second or so on this monitor, and you see a mugshot of someone and a case report. And basically, this just introduces the audience to what the characters do, which you don't know specifically, but you know it has to do with some sort of police work or crime or whatnot. And as it keeps going, we're introduced to our character Scarlett here, who walks in, talks small talk, sits down. You can tell it's a friendly tone. They're friends. They know each other. They're comfortable. So yeah, basically they're talking, small talk. Here, a little over the shoulder, you're introduced to Ray. That's the main character, and whose parents I discussed throughout that credit scene. And so he's comfortable. He's talking, and here he asks why he has, small talk kind of ends, and he asks her. He's like, I don't think you just came over just to small talk. I assume there's something more important. How's the case going? And she explains that the lab reports come in, but it's kind of really confusing. And I went with this shot here because I didn't want to focus on just one, as I could have gone with an over the shoulder and just keep swapping over the shoulder shots. But I thought that they're both important, and add some variety to the shots. To just go with this, I didn't really think reactions were so important in this specific sequence, so I didn't want to focus on just one person. So here they're talking, and here asks Ray to explain what happened when he was younger, when his parents, like what had happened to his parents. So here I do switch to an over the shoulder to focus on Ray's reaction as to why why she's asking about this, and he's very confused. And so Ray is here talking, and then it does go to the flashback. The flashback is in black and white. It kind of sets a dark and gloomy tone. It also makes it more real. It also shows that it's in the past. And the shot here, I went from a low angle to try, because it's Ray in the voiceover expresses that he was in a fight with his parents that day, and this is him fighting with his parents. So he's kind of looking down over the railing at his parents, and then kind of gets mad and storms off, but it shows him in a powerful image here. So here he storms off, and throughout the flashback there's a voiceover of Ray explaining that day. He storms off. Here his parents aren't answering his calls, and it's getting kind of late, so he's getting kind of worried. And then later his aunt comes over and explains to him that his parents have gotten in a car accident and that they were in critical condition in the hospital. And then, across blur transitions into and out of the flashback. And here Ray is again comfortable talking about doing his work and whatnot. And she explains that the lab reports come in and his parents' prints are all over. So here, at this moment, that's his reaction. And again, I wanted to focus on Ray's reaction. He is the protagonist. He is his parents. He is the more important person in this scene. So it was, throughout this whole process, I kind of developed, I found the importance of angles and what to focus on in the screen. So, there's scenes where I focus on both of them, scenes where I focus on just one of them, and I found that to be very important throughout the whole process. So here, it's focused just on him, and then again, a two-shot, which they're both important. She's explaining that they went over the report 5 times, and it's him 5 times. And then the last shot is coming up. She's asking, what does he want to do with the investigation? It's related to him. Does he want to keep doing this? She, on her own, will have to do an investigation with or without him. And I'll note here that I did go with a female detective because through research and shows like Elementary, it kind of shows that viewers relate more, especially females, of course, relate more when there is a female. It's not just a male concentrated movie. So females will be represented throughout the show, and she is also Latina. She is a minority, so she represents not only females but minorities, Latinos specifically. So this incorporates that into the film, and she is his partner. They're both powerful. And here, this is, let me just move it back a little. Here, she's asking him, what does he want to do with the film, or the case. And so she asks him, and he says, I want to find my parents. So that's why there's a very dramatic zoom in at the end, because it's very important to focus on his face throughout the thing. So here, I'll just leave the case here. And basically, yeah, that's my whole film. Basically, the case has to do with the case. The target audience is through late teens to mid 30s, and I found through research that is mostly the people that do watch crime dramas. They enjoy not only the suspense and the crime and whatnot, but the action, which there will be action. And throughout this whole process, I did I did edit on iMovie. I have a MacBook, so I thought this was the easiest thing. I kind of learned how to manage it throughout the process, and it's quite simple, and I thought I did a pretty good job. So yeah, the film will be distributed throughout theaters. I think that since it's kind of a more common film than other. It's not like a little small film here and there. It's kind of a big film. Something crime dramas tend to be common and successful in theaters on like a small independent film. So I think in the theater it would do very well, and that's why I would put it there. So yeah, that's my CCR. Thank you all very much.